For about the last 3 weeks, I went on this great road trip. I went all the way to Wisconsin and as far south as Kansas, and I just had a blast. It was a lot of fun. And I was roaming the countryside and I was staying in various hotels. I was amazed at the differences in how hotels were managed. Some were managed beautifully. They were just doing a superb job while others did a horrible job. Some of the hotels were so badly run that I could not for the life of me understand how management even functions. I couldn't help but think that these companies do nothing but look at financials and don't give a rat's rear end about how the business is actually run. Some of these places were so darn dirty that I just couldn't get over it. And these were hotels that had good reputations in the past. I stayed at a Red Lion that was disgusting. It was the nastiest thing I've ever stayed in. It was in Ellensburg, Washington. And for me, they just bulldozed the place. It was so bad. And so, you're expecting a great experience at some of these hotels, and they're really bad. I was annoyed enough that I thought, I really need to talk to this CEO and find out why in the world they could run a company that badly. What is it that says that's okay? That they could run something into the ground like that? I just couldn't get over it. I kept thinking to myself, if I was the CEO of that company, I would make my management team live there. I would make them live in every single one of these holes until they cleaned them up and made them a better place to stay. And so I saw that all over the place. I was in Billings, Montana. I was checking out of a hotel, and as I went to the front desk, I said, I'm checking out. The two people working at the front desk never turned their back to say, thank you, how was your stay, anything. They kept their backs turned and said, okay, that's it. That's all they said, okay. And some of them just, they go out of their way to not do anything for you. This same hotel also didn't have toilet paper in the toilet roll. And when I checked in, it didn't have any of that stuff. They had gone in and they had kind of cleaned up the room. And that was also the same hotel that they used so much pine cleaner that it was the only thing I could smell on anything for about at least the next day. It was on everything. They were just covering up the bad smell from the lack of care they'd given the hotel. And I was looking at these things, and these are all high-star rated hotels and the best I could find in the area. And they were just holes. I don't know how else to say it. And I kept thinking about what makes this okay? What makes management say, yeah, that's fine. Guess it'll be fine. This will be okay. We're fine. We're not damaging our brand. And I kept thinking about these big brands. La Quinta was like that in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. That place was dirty as heck. And I couldn't understand it. I wrote a note to the manager and I'm saying, how could you let a hotel get this dirty? How could you let the lobby be this dirty? Well, we cut back on staff because of COVID. And they claimed it was to prevent COVID from spreading. And I couldn't think of a bigger way to make it spread. You weren't cleaning anything. And so it was just disgusting. It was absolutely disgusting. And so hope the manager watches this because no need for that. That hotel should have never been that disgusting. And I saw that a lot. Now, I've got to say where I did have a great experience, and that was at a Holiday Inn Express. The Holiday Inn Express just happened to be the one hotel that a lot of these hotels, as you're driving, one of the things that happens is you're not making your reservation until halfway through the day. And because you don't know where you're going to end up, right? You're driving and you're just going, all right, I got to find a place for tonight. And so I start to make those reservations, and sometimes places are booked, and so you kind of have to work your way down the list. But I happened to stay at a Holiday Inn Express, and I was impressed. And this is no plug for Holiday Inn, but because for one thing, I don't like their pet fees. They charge a pet fee when your dog was with you. My dog was with me. But everywhere I looked, they were honestly trying to do a great job and provide a great value. The breakfast was great. The room was clean. The staff was courteous. I even said something about the pet fee, and the person at the front desk didn't just say, sorry about that, on and on. She went online, she found where the pet fee was, and she printed it out, and she said, here it is, so in the future you know where to look for it. I thought that was way above and beyond the call of duty. She defended her brand, and I admire her for that. She stood behind her product. And I really admired her for that. I don't agree with the pet policy because I think a lot of hotels take advantage of those pet fees. But I still felt that Holiday Inn Express did a very, very nice job, and they really went out of their way to make the place about as nice as they could possibly make it. So kudos to them. So I love it when I see a management team that is doing a great job and doing everything they can to train their people well. That was a perfect example of it. And I wrote them a review telling them that. I thought they did a superb job. But some of these other places, they just phone it in. They do not care. I suspect, and this is only my suspicion, is that these hotels are private equity owned and the only thing they're looking at is financials. They are not really looking sincerely at customer scores, customer trends, and they are doing nothing to build their brand because why? That doesn't show up on the balance sheet. And so these hotels are just running everything to the bottom line, and they did not care one bit. And so I'm going to start naming these places when I get back out there on the road and start traveling again. I'm going to make a review of the hotels I liked and the hotels I didn't and why I didn't like them. I think they have to be called out because just these reviews, and I kind of think they're doctored a bit. I just have the feeling that they are because I kept going, how in the world could this place get this high a score when it's this much of a shithole? So I think I'm going to start doing a shithole score. I don't know what to do, but I think, these places are just getting away with really some scummy practices. These places were grim, and there's no need for it at all, especially at the price point that they're charging. And so these were not inexpensive hotels. These were not the cheapest I could find. And so I was expecting a lot better everything. So that's it for today. There's a lot of jets flying over right now. So they sometimes move the path over this way when the winds are just right, and it's sort of our neighborhood's turn to get the jet traffic. So that's why you hear the noise. Anyhow, thank you very much for tuning in, and until next time, we'll see you later. Thanks for watching this episode. If you want to follow us and know where we are, you can find us in a bunch of places. We're on middlerock.com, which is our website. Up at the top, you'll see things for upcoming Zoom events that you can participate in. We bring in other speakers and we talk about entrepreneurship. You can also find me on Tom on Entrepreneurship on Quora, as well as Tom Nault on Quora. I also have a personal website, tomnault.com. You can find there, but I don't talk about business as much. So you can find us in all of those different places. And so we hope to hear from you. Write us, let us know what you think. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the bell when the next one is coming up so that you're notified. And thank you very much for being here.